Hey, you guys, welcome to Club Rich. I'm Ashley Janae. Thank y'all for tuning in for episode 3 of season 2. And hey, we're here to gossip and talk about everything in pop culture, news, current events. So before we get started, drink of the day, y'all. We're about to go ahead and get into it. What did y'all drink for tonight? Put it in the chat. My drink for tonight, um, I didn't really give it a title. I've been thinking about one all day, but it consists of pineapples and this little doodad right here. Don't get me to trying to pronounce it either, but it's tequila. So we're gonna call it drunk pineapples. That's gonna be it for tonight. So, anyways, everybody check in down below. What is your snacks? What are you drinking on tonight? Anyways, we're not doing questions and answers tonight. I did get a couple inquiries about it, but we're not doing questions and answers. So we're gonna just hop into these hot topics, courtesy of Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee. Shout out to them. So our first subject for tonight, let's see. Oh God. So Tesla, the car company, decided to recall over 360,000 vehicles that were equipped with the self-driving software. So my question to you guys in the chat, would you ever, because I've seen it on TV like quite a few times, would you guys ever operate the self-driving cars and like take a nap and just let the car drive you to work or drive you to the grocery store or whatever the case may be? What about you, Mickey? Would you drive a Tesla? Well, actually, let the Tesla drive you.
I don't think so.
You don't feel comfortable with it?
No, because anything can happen. Just say it's having a bad day. The car is having a bad day. And,
That's probably why
or
the
somebody, or
car.
somebody get the car and hotwire it and take me right off the cliff.
I can't believe, like, have you seen the videos when people fall asleep and they let the car like drive them to wherever it is they going? Like they really are in the car, just relaxed with the seat tilted back, and they just letting the car do its thing. Mickey, have you seen
Yeah,
it?
I mean, it make me think about a Night Rider with Kid.
Oh, hey, Eric, my cousin popped in. Hey, Eric, how's it going? So, anyways, subject number 2 for the night. I'm so sad, you guys. So, they're actually tonight is the final episode of Judge Mathis.
Mm.
So, they actually canceled that show. Oh gosh, let me see how many seasons they put because I didn't see how many seasons they actually had. Yep. Actually, they canceled that in the People's Court. Lord Jesus, I can't even think of the name of the judge that's on there. But yep, they canceled that. But actually, Judge Mathis announced that he's having another show that's coming in behind that. That's a little less, formal, but he'll still be a judge. So that's not the last we're gonna see of him. But put it in the chat, you guys. What's your favorite Judge Mathis moment? Because I know everybody has one. Trying to think. My favorite episode would probably be where he was arguing back and forth with the lady, and she was actually a crackhead, but she just kept telling him that she wasn't, and then
You
she
know
finally
what?
admitted that she was. Do you remember that, Mickey?
Yeah, that's mine too. I'll go look at it on YouTube.
Because
If I,
he told her like you a crackhead, right? You do crack, and she's like, yeah, I did it before.
I would break it on, but I don't want to get copyright infringement. I will bring the clip on.
So for all my younger people that's in the chat, so rapper Ti and the other rapper Boosie have been going at it, really low key all week, regarding rumors of Ti being labeled a snitch. So for anybody that's not familiar with that terminology, just someone that's basically getting their prisoner jail time reduced. Um, because they gave information to the police so that gets their prisoner jail time reduced. So basically Boosie and Ti had a album that was set to come out, and Boosie has decided to actually cancel the whole album. And
I,
so,
I got a question for you for that.
mhm.
How do you feel about this that they doing snitch culture now? How do you feel about that? Fire what rappers telling, but hear me out.
Okay, so this is my deal with that.
Come on.
I am a civilian. I go to work, I come home, I change diapers, cook, clean, go to sleep, repeat. I am not in the streets. I am not anybody that you would consider a threat to society, anything of the sort. So my thing of it is, if I am put in a situation where it's either my life will be spent behind bars versus me going home, and you might be the reason behind me being in jail, I'm snitching. So if you do a crime with me, baby, just know I'm telling.
No, the reason I was saying that because what's going on now, I seen it with Takashi. I'm seeing it like they saying, far as rappers, saying rappers and everything, far as with the snitching and everything. It's just like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. So Ti kind of explained it. For those who don't know, Ti has a cousin that passed away, unfortunately, and so the crime that him and the cousin had committed together, he claims that the cousin gave him permission. Like, hey, if something happens to me in the midst of all this stuff, hey man, tell them I did it or whatever, whatever. If that's gonna help you get your time reduced or no time at all, go ahead and snitch. I ain't here no more, so hey, it is what it is. So he's basically saying that he snitched on a dead person, which I mean he ain't here no more, so
he trying to justify. I mean, it is what it is. I'm like you said, when you in that, it's just. I just think it's a bad, you know what I'm saying, with them two going, they millionaires and y'all still going by, you know.
yeah, I think it's really, really dumb. And then especially when, like you said, they are so high up just in entertainment and all that kind of stuff that you would think that these type of subjects wouldn't even be like a topic or a point of conversation for neither one of them. Like just make music and call it a day. Because there's a lot of people that are artists that you can name down the list of artists that have horrible backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? You got the R. Kelly, you got Elvis, you got a whole bunch of people that they the background story is not the greatest, but they make pretty good music. So my thing of it is, if I'm an entertainer, my title is to entertain, not to be engulfed with what's going on in your personal life. Now, if it's affecting me some way somehow, then okay, cool. But if it's not affecting me none, hey, if you snitching over there, yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Let's go
I,
ahead
I
and get this money.
no, I get it because, like you say, you a civilian. I just feel like with them, they knew what the consequences was, you
That's why I
know.
said, y'all listen to me good. Don't do no crime with me because if it's between me and you, I'm telling. I'm gonna
Well,
go
I get
home
it.
to my kids. You can go to jail. Bye.
No, I get it. I feel like now what they doing. I feel like they self incriminating themselves, so they shouldn't be mad at nobody but themselves.
Yeah, and then like, why is that? For one, Ti, I'm so tired of hearing about stuff he done did criminally. Like, it really gets to the point that a lot of his past, criminal past, has became more relevant than his actual music, and that's a damn shame because he has a big, huge body of work. Not even just in music, he's a decent actor and stuff too. But it's like you go to an interview and you think that you talking about uh, what you did in 2002 is so important compared to, hey, I got an album coming out. Like, I don't even hear nothing about the man's music and stuff no more because we always talking about who he done snitched on. Like every other year, it seemed like they got a new Ti snitch story.
I mean, yeah, that's good. That's concerning. Whoever he done pissed off, they let that go out though. But you do have to think though, man. When you like, just say me and you, we catch a case that we get caught with guns. So it's usually Like the shit he got caught with, you know what I'm saying? But he also got money. So, you know, some cases, I guess they could buy or whatever. Normal people like us would be doing time.
Yeah, it just kind of like I said, his criminal background is starting to become too much of a topic, and I'm kind of over that. Like I would rather hear about what you have going on as far as your career because like I said, he's an actor. Outside of the music, he's a decent actor. So I would like to hear about what's your next project that's coming out. Like I'm tired of hearing about what you did in 2002. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, you do. Yeah, I mean, you do as you grow up. You're supposed to get out of it, but you know, sometimes your past will follow you, especially when
I guess when you're trying to do better, that always comes back to the forefront. I understand that.
I think when you cut them deals like that, entertainment is tricky. Just like you said with R. Kelly, they'll let you do things and let stuff slide. And I guess when you're not useful or something, they'll start letting things go out because,
Stuff creep back through that we
yeah,
thought it was over and done with.
yeah, because it ain't like they wouldn't call it him a snitch before when he first got caught. Why is it such a big issue now?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are we even discussing that in 2023? If he ever, snitched about something or whatever the case may be, I mean, it's over and done with now. So what can we do about that?
I'm saying they let it go blow over, and now they didn't just brought it back up as full press. That's what I'm saying. Like, if
Now
y'all
it's a
wasn't
hot
mad,
topic.
yeah, if y'all wasn't mad 5 or 10 years ago, what you mad now? The rules ain't never changed. If you snitching, you don't supposed to deal with you.
Hmm.
Them rules, the rules don't change. It's just
It
we
always
have
comes back around, like you said. But
go ahead.
speaking of R. Kelly, because you just
Oh,
brought
hey,
up R. Kelly. Yeah.
oh my
So,
God.
yeah, as of yesterday, he was sentenced to 20 years, additional 20 years in prison for some child sex crimes that took place in Illinois. Um, that's on top of the 30 years that he's already serving.
Shit. And how much time did Harvey
We're looking at 50 now.
what Harvey Stein what was that Harvey Weinstein, what he get?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I know it's significantly less. Why do 16 keeps popping in my head for some odd reason?
Cause that's what I think, that's what he got, 16 years.
16. And Kells is in jail for life, basically. Because the
Oh
man already in
yeah.
his 50s, maybe
Right.
heading towards 60. So you're not going to be here for another 50 years. If you do, peace and blessings. But
Yeah, that,
so put it in the chat, you guys. Do you feel like R. Kelly is getting a little bit more of a lashing because of who he is? Or do you think that the punishment is justified? I want to hear your guys' opinions on that.
oh my God, yeah, that's a rough one. That's just like with Bill Cosby, that's touchy. This is my problem. Why is it always it's always if you bring up blacks, they want to see the blacks get the judge ego. They go over and beyond. But then when you see Harvey Weinstein, they justify like how he out. You know what I'm saying? Bill Cosby, they went back 30 years and got something.
I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is what I truly believe. When it's somebody that's normal, like dusty old me, they really don't care too much. But when it's someone that has some kind of power, that has some kind of prestige, like a Bill Cosby, like the saying goes, he was planning on buying a TV network at the time. So that's a lot of power and a lot of leverage for somebody that I'm pretty sure that nobody wanted to, let have that anyways. You got R. Kelly. He's been around for 30 plus years, really heading towards 40 years with a very huge career. Not even just in the black community, but he wrote a lot of hits for white artists too.
Mm.
Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, the list goes on. So it's kind of like one of those things where I feel like when we getting a little too big for our britches, we got to knock you down a little bit. That's kind of like
Wow.
the mentality that I feel like it is with blacks that have just a some kind of power. That's why I always tell people, like, when you become famous or you want that spotlight shined on you, you got to move different. You got to move totally different. Just because you have a lot of yes men and stuff around you, don't mean that certain acts won't get dug up, years and years later. Think about this: the stuff that Kels is getting punished for, most of this stuff happened in the '90s. We're talking about 30 years ago. So
Yeah, yeah, that's
he
what's
couldn't
cold.
escape it, even if he thought he did.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing I think what it is, I think you know, he got jammed up, but I'm pretty sure you could then there pick any entertainer and then they get them for that. Just look at like far as them models. Them models be young when they be dating a lot of them older men.
Russell Simmons is one of them.
Yeah,
Kamora Lee was a teenager, like 14, 15. This man was well into his 30s when they met. Now, was they messing around at that point? I'm pretty sure. But, they had to try to smooth it out and make it look like it was just, him trying to put her in a better position. But he was looking at that girl when she was in her early teens. Definitely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you
That's
can
why
see,
he's ass in trouble now, too.
yeah, but he got out of here.
He ran off.
Smart man.
He
He
ain't been
probably
back over
looked at
here in
it,
years.
and I'm not trying to laugh at none of them people, whoever going through that. I'm just saying he dipped and was like, "Shit, y'all not finna lock me up and put me in
Y'all
no
ain't gonna get me.
cage."
Y'all gotta come find me.
Yeah, and y'all letting all these other people get away. He probably looking at shit. I didn't party with some of them. You
And you
know,
know
so,
what's crazy? The things that I've heard, because I have a couple friends that you qualify as famous. Some of the stuff that they've told me that they've seen over the years, you will be so shocked how many people that you love dearly that have the worst habits in the world, whether it's drugs, whether it's sexual habits. They would have certain type of parties that just anything goes. Like it is Hollywood is a very strange place, and thank God for some of those people that a lot of stuff that they did was before we had internet, before we had pulling your phones out and recording. Like a lot of stuff, if we had phones back in the '70s and the '80s, half the entertainment industry will probably be in prison. I'm pretty sure.
no, and I'm glad you said that because I used to wonder back in the day, but with internet, and because I remember Cat Williams talking on one of his shows when he was talking about going to them Hollywood parties. God bless the dead gangster boo, rest her soul. I remember she talked about it one time, them Hollywood parties. And I used to wonder, like, why a lot of them people would run the church. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of people that was in Hollywood that left. You notice, even athletes, you would see a lot of them to run the church. So I used to wonder, like, damn, what happened that like shook their core that they was running to the church?
Um, it was a singer by the name of Houston. He came out for like a hot, hot, hot second. I don't know if you remember him. He came out like in the early 2000s, and he of course he had mental issues, but he had made a statement because he locked himself in a hotel room and gouged one of his eyes out. And he was saying that just the small time that he was qualified as famous, being invited to certain events and all that kind of stuff, he said he's seen so much evil stuff that he couldn't take it, like his mental couldn't take it. So I'm pretty sure it's a lot of stuff that happens at these Hollywood parties that we're not supposed to.
I mean, that's because I'm just saying because I have when you hear the stories, I don't want to get off into my not to go off and to change what you saying. Just let me take the plane. Just let me put it on the runway. I ain't gonna take off. I'm just gonna put it on the runway. I'm just on the runway.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
I'll be watching different people like. Bobby Hemmett and these old Egyptologists and whatever, and he was talking about. He said he was in he wanted to be in Hollywood. He said he went out there. He said, and he was talking about the movie. This one he was talking about before Harvey Weinstein got caught up in anything. He was talking about the Hollywood, talking about the directors. And you know what I'm saying? Like the directors, allegedly. Let me just put this out here. I don't want to get us canceled before we get going. Allegedly,
Cancel.
he was like, he said directors have made a pass at a man. He was like, the dude said, he's like, no, I'm straight. He said, even with him, you know what I'm saying? It was like certain things they wanted you to do. And he was just like, he knew Hollywood wasn't for him, So that was one of his stories. He just said the dude made a pass at him.
Shoot,
He
one
was
of our
like,
Flint heroes had the same situation happen where a director grabbed him in
yeah.
his private areas. My
So
thing of it is he ain't beat the dude up, but I don't know.
I
Okay.
mean, because you got some people who like a job. He wanted to stay out there and feed his family. My family would have been back where we at.
Yeah, I don't know if I could take. I don't know if I could have took it. I don't know. I probably would have blacked out. So I don't know.
It's just certain things. That's why I think people ought to be careful when they say I do anything for money.
Yeah,
No, not me. It's certain things I'm just not gonna do. Maybe I might not be no millionaire. Maybe I only can be 100,000 there. You know what I'm saying?
that
Maybe
integrity still gonna be there though. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Because I'm saying something that'll make your soul, like you said, you can have people who committed suicide, like something that bad that your soul that
But
it that
sometimes it's certain stuff like I said that maybe I could observe and it don't bother me that much, but you could go somewhere and see the same thing and you like, I can't do it. I can't be. You know what I'm saying? It'll make you uncomfortable. So
yeah.
mm, we're gonna get off that subject.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Yeah, I
We're
didn't
gonna
want
get
to
off the
take off.
rabbit hole of that one.
Okay.
So I got a question for y'all. Question of the day. This comes from Jamel Hill. I always say her name wrong.
Jamil Hill.
Jamil. So
Jamil.
she put up a tweet. This is the tweet. I need y'all to answer in the chat for me. So I change my towel every 3 to 4 days. I feel like that's about right. Am I wrong for this? Is changing your towels every day excessive? I'll be honest with y'all. I wash so much because towels getting changed every day around here.
Now, this is what's killing me with these superstars now. This shit is getting out of hand. This is really getting out of hand. It's a new method to cleaning your body. When has the method changed? I'll answer for the people. You know how your parents had you washing. I mean, you got some. I wash up every 2 days. You stinking then, and you know what I'm saying. If you running around, I'm just saying. Now this society has really went to hell on a rocket ship, and they hit light speed with it. I'm just gonna tell you because now I remember it was one star where she said she only wash up every 3 days or something. I might not be all the way right. I remember one person, one female, and it was a female that day, and it blew my mind. She used the bathroom. She don't wash her hands. Like, what the hell? When has hygiene got this?
My thing is when I get up in the morning, I don't feel right about leaving the premises until the shower has been taken care of. Like I don't just get up and just be like, all right, I'm out of here. I feel figure that out later now.
That's why I'm asking. It's like some of this shit is just getting. It's like it's crazy. Like now, I gotta go on and say this. I mean, that tweet, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
Everything you ain't got to say. If you want to wash your body, if you want to wash up every 2 or 3 days, oh well. We'll hear about it from one of the directors or something when they come out with books. This one was stinking in Hollywood. She didn't like to clean up. You know what I'm saying? We'll get them stories 10 years from now. I mean, I don't brush my teeth, but every 4 days. Like some of these superstars. I mean, damn, some of this is just crazy. But go ahead.
I just wonder, like, do these people stink? Like, you know what I'm saying? And we regular folks, but I couldn't imagine like going to like the Grammys or something, or going to like the Oscars or something, and I ain't washed my ass in 2 days, and I done went and got me a suit, got me a dress, got all dialed up and stuff, and well, I took a shower a couple days ago. I should be all right. Like I don't
It's,
feel comfortable putting on a new set of clothes without bathing first. Like that just feels so weird to me. So
that's that's what I'm saying. These superstars right now, I ain't gonna say superstars. These people with money have really lost their mind. They have really lost their mind. I'm saying, but these are your so-called
these are the
the
heroes. Yeah,
the leaders of tomorrow. And she on here talking about no. Tell me why you ain't saying Flint ain't got clean water. If you want to make a tweet, use your platform for that. Don't use
it's
your
something that makes
platform
sense.
for yeah 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. If you do it every day, you got the money. You can do it every day. If you got to wash and dry, you can wash your towel every day.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
that's,
You want to change. If you want to change, you can do it every day. But I'm just saying, like some of these entertainers now, come on now, shit.
yeah. I'm just into just get up and get yourself together every day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
this,
Don't
but
debate on if you're gonna wash up. If you have to debate, that means you need to go ahead and do it.
that's what I'm saying. But this is crazy that these are our leaders. I mean, not our leaders. These are the people they want to put out there to say that's going to lead us to this that the blacks listen to. I wish he would come up here. I'm
Yeah,
like, now
did
what
you
about that
change
towel?
your towel today?
But I'll come out there. I know you're gonna talk about the towels, ain't you? But to show you how silly that is, she'll be laughing and think I'm joking. And I
No,
will be dead serious.
like, did you change your towel today since you
Yeah, yeah, that's more important. And give her a cup of water from Flint. Say, drink this.
remember when Obama did that?
Yeah,
He drank the water and tried to act like he had a full glass of Flint water. You know what?
yeah,
I ain't gonna start.
yeah.
I ain't gonna start. I
Listen,
just sat there and looked
yeah.
like you ain't had no bottle of Aquafina sitting on the side of it. All right, let me go ahead and change the subject, y'all. So,
Let's go.
Pennsylvania court has actually put it into production that they are offering mail condoms, MAIL, like put it in the mailbox, condoms because of their rise in STDs. Do you guys think that condoms should be free? I think personally, condoms should probably be free. And I only say that because this is gonna sound so stupid, but it's true. Sex is a necessity, and I'm gonna tell you. No, hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out, because you're
I
gonna.
just, I just laughed. That's all.
So look, you got to do it in order to procreate. If everybody in the world just woke up one day and said we ain't gonna do it for 2-3 months, that would affect the world in a negative light, some way, somehow. You gotta do the damn. You gotta do it. So my thing of it is no, but I'm just being funny.
I get
Um,
what you're saying.
I'm just being goofy, but no, I think that's a really good idea. I've been in the health field for a little bit under a decade, and I have had opportunities to see statistics just here in Genesee County, and you would be amazed. You would.
Hold up. Not to cut you off. Hold up. I gotta take the plane off the airplane. I gotta take it. I gotta take it in the air now. You said Rhode Island, right?
Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
Pennsylvania, and you saying they got a high rise in STDs.
Hmm.
Lord have mercy.
That's just
So
one.
so you basically you saying they STDs is so unbelievable that they got to give condoms out just to make these people.
In the mail. Like
What
here,
type of people is these that don't understand to wrap it up? Now you got to look at the people now. So I had to look at that list, like to see what people is doing this now, because now you got me think Pennsylvania is just
Shoot, they getting
Sodom
it
and
in
Gomorrah.
Pittsburgh.
You got
Pittsburgh
me.
getting it in.
You got me thinking they Sodom. I mean, STDs meaning what? Like gonorrhea, herpes, crabs. You
Name
said sexual STDs.
it. Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yep. So
and they ain't talking about the death sentence one, right?
no, they're not even mentioning that. Um,
Okay,
but yep, they're
they just
providing all that for free. So
damn.
just like how we were getting all the COVID tests in the mail, you just had to go to the UPS, or not UPS. What is the post office website, whatever
So
it is.
they basically playing some stuff. I'm not trying to be sarcastic or nothing. I'm trying to be respectful and being honest. But you mean to tell me them people? So just use an example. You gave me something. I'm gonna get the next person something. That's how it seeming like they playing. Like you did this to me, so I'm gonna get the next person. Because that's the only way you could just be passing something on like that. Lord
That
help me.
or with certain STDs that are that don't have any kind of physical um, pain or consequences behind it. You have to find that out via testing. So some people are walking around with the stuff on them and just passing it to somebody
Mm,
else. And you just don't know about it till you go get a full panel done, and you find out you got something going on, and you might have had it for a minute.
damn.
I like I said, I have been in the health field for quite some time. I have um, I have been the bearer of bad news in my day.
Just damn.
It's not
That's it.
funny. It's not funny at all.
No, it's not. That's damn. That's a hell of a thing.
Um,
Lord.
Flint
Mm,
has a Genesee County, so all the surrounding areas. We have to start getting checked, people. Um, our rate is so high that the people that have contracted HIV and AIDS, the people that we know have it, is not even anywhere near accurate, because about the time that we find out Billy Joe down the street has it, Billy Joe done told us that he done had about 10 or 12 partners within the last year or so.
mm,
So Billy Joe then turned just that one person having that to 12 people possibly having that. So,
damn. Yeah, I understand that. Lord.
mhm. Mhm.
Mm,
And then it's a possibility that none of those 12 people have it, so they're passing it to, yeah, it's just a big shit show. Sorry to say it, but
mm.
get tested, folks. Get tested. Even if you are in a solid relationship, you don't never know what people are on. Trust and believe. People will put up a front and think, hey, you thinking that it's just you and nobody else. Please get tested, y'all. Please get tested. I'm begging y'all.
Oh, yeah, that's you got me over here in tears.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Shit, they in
We're trying
Philadelphia. You
trying
said
to get
Pittsburgh, right? You said Pittsburgh, right?
I was just naming out cities, but nah, just Philadelphia. I mean Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in
Pennsylvania.
general. This
Damn.
is the whole state. So we talking about Philly, right?
Right.
You got Pittsburgh. You got all the major cities. Philadelphia has so many freaking people in there because we went there was it last year, the year before last? Went there, and the population is ridiculous. So just imagine, is so crazy that they are begging people here. If you don't have the money to pay for them, I'll give them to you. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's terrible, man. When you gotta tell people that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cold blooded right there. It's that bad.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
see, I would like to see them numbers. Is that just regular people or is them addicts? You know what I'm saying? Like
Probably a
drug
mixture of both.
abusers. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure it's a good mixture of both because it's such a big misconception that only certain people attract certain things, and that's not the case. Not the case at all. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it could be somebody, a straight normal male just walking down the street that has something going on. But
Right. I
you
agree with
think that it's the crackhead down the street, he might not even got nothing going on.
you. Or the meth head, or the
Mhm.
cocaine abuser.
Like they say, that stuff has no name to it, so that's a very true statement.
Yeah.
So y'all, we're gonna get it a little bit lighter again because we done went down the rabbit hole. So, ladies, question for you, put it in the chats. If your man gave you 100K right now and said you gotta have that spent by this time tomorrow night, would you be able to spend that all in a 24-hour period? And what would you spend it on? Mickey, if your girl gave you 100K, hey baby, you had it spent by tomorrow afternoon, what you spending it on?
What I spend it on. Mm. I would say a crib. That would probably be a down payment.
That's definitely a down payment because I don't even want $100,000 house because actually houses that
Right.
were considered like the 50 and $60,000 houses, them became the
You
90
know,
and 100,000 houses.
you just gave me. I'll take my 100 and invest in a business.
That's a good.
Yeah, I would take it and invest in a business. She gave me 100,000. I would invest it in a business.
What would I do? This is so goofy, but I would buy a couple McDonald's franchises.
That ain't goofy. I mean, even though they poison the community, but you can make money.
Oh, but wait, did you see that they came out last week with plant-based chicken nuggets?
I this is terrible. They're killing us all around the corner. But I listen. That's not a bad idea because they over with 90 billion killed. I mean 90 billion served. They
Oh my
saying
God. Okay.
90 billion served. I'm just messing. 'Cause
Yeah, but that's a good idea.
contract.
They really the last one to catch on because Burger King's been doing the Impossible Burgers.
Right.
Everybody really has been doing the Impossible Burgers. I don't know what McDonald's took so long to get on board for, but I don't even think they've started the burger process yet. It's just the chicken nuggets for right now.
Have you ate an Impossible Burger?
No, never had one. You know what? Back in the day, I caught myself trying to try the vegetarian route, and I had got some of those bean burgers from Myers, that the frozen patties
Right.
that's already kind of like flame broiled or whatever. They're not that bad at all, especially once you go ahead and get you some ketchup and all that extra stuff.
See, I wanted to go to Atlanta. What was it called? Slutty Vegan.
Oh, okay. I heard of them.
See, I wanted to go down there and try that, see how it was. I can't really get off into the plant based. You know what I'm saying? When
Really,
they
is it
like,
the consistency that kind of throw you for a loop?
yeah, and then when I go, when you go to studying on it, you go to reading up on it, and you find out it still got chemicals in it.
Really?
Yeah, if I was putting it together. See,
That would
when
make sense.
when we be thinking we getting,
Something better.
if you ain't really growing your own food or really you got you a farmer, man, you really you really at the behest of the people that you're going to get your food from.
I told my grandmother, I said, when I hit the age of retirement, whenever that is, I do plan on buying me a farm and then just kind of heading back down south and buying me a farm and invest my time into that. I think that is something that really every black family should think about getting into is some kind of farming, especially the way that produce and everything is just so poisoned. And
Right,
I really advise, like somebody was saying on Facebook yesterday, I believe, and it was such a great idea that just like right now it's tax season, so
right,
everybody got that good couple dollars on them. Families need to start binding that money together and
right.
opening up something, opening up businesses,
Mhm.
um, buying farmland, buying just land, period, and figuring out what you're going to do with that land. Land actually is not that expensive. at all. I actually did some research, and my aunt, she had a small piece of land that she had bought that was across the street from her house, and it didn't cost nothing at all. Like really
Right.
hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. And but she had leased it, but they gave her the option. I think they gave her the option to buy this a little bit more, but buying a piece of land is nothing nowadays. Now, just trying to figure out what you're gonna do with it, how you're gonna fund foundation costs, zoning, all that kind of extra crap that come with it. That's probably where the bag gonna come from. But um, that's a good idea to put out there for y'all black folks, because y'all like to go and buy clothes and cars that shut down after 2 weeks and all that bullshit.
Go make Tangy Crab a million. Go make them about $1 million.
Yep, in a week we going to Tangy Crab for lunch and dinner
Yeah,
for two
yeah,
weeks in a row. Yeah,
yeah.
I shoot, I took my tax money and invested back into Rich Karaoke, which y'all go check me out, Rich Karaoke on Facebook for all your traveling karaoke company needs. Shameless plug. But anyways, yep, just invested back into myself. That's what I did with my money. I
As
ain't
you
really
should.
about big spending and stuff nowadays. I always tell people now my kids wear my money, so
I mean, just think about it. If you didn't travel, you didn't did say bought Jordans and everything. It comes in a time in life when you want to like. You still gonna dress nice, but you can go to Vegas how many times? You can go to Miami how many times? How
hmm
many times you want to go out and just blow 3 or 4 thousand every time you go out of town? When you can really take that, you just imagine taking 1 year and your bid is to get up, invest in that money, and you know what I'm saying. You might don't get to go out party this for a year, but look what you can start.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. And see, when I first started Rich Karaoke, I was already a homebody, so all the extra money that I could have probably took and blew in the club and stuff with my bros on the weekend, all that stuff, I literally was at the club with my kids plotting. And when I finally was able to make certain moves, made certain moves, and shoot, I was able to make that money and some within a month span, literally in a month span. So it's always good to invest in yourself, especially if you got an idea that you know that's going to pan out to you.
No, I mean, I don't because just think about it. Just say if you just grind for 2 years, you can probably ball for 10 if that's what you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? As far as you working on yours, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't knock no people that's in they 20s, they 19, because I know what I how when I was my age, that age, I know I did the same.
I'm just
Nut-
glad that back then, the
Yeah,
sums of money that I've get my hands on now, I'm glad I wasn't getting it back then. Because I would have probably just been ignorant, just real ridiculous and ignorant. Ashley with no kids and getting 10, 20 bands in a couple months, and no. Mm-mm. So I invest now. I definitely invested myself in my home, in my my car. It ain't got to be a Bentley or nothing like that, but it's something nice.
right,
Um, Make sure the kids are taken care of. They got money set to the side for whatever, whatever. I take them to different states, here and there,
right,
and then like right now, I've been getting booked in Vegas and Miami, going to handle some business there. It's like now, like you said, it's the time to grind. My kids are old enough where, they like being with their grandparents and stuff like that on the weekend. So I kind of start picking up my gigs and just traveling. It's time to grind. It's definitely time to grind. So y'all, when y'all get y'all tax money, that's what we was getting at. When y'all get y'all tax money, take your money and invest in yourself and your future and your kids' future. That's my tip of the day.
that ain't a bad one.
It's not. Speaking of money and doing something productive with your money. So Kanye West,
Talk to me.
he has reached an agreement with Adidas to sign back with them, but only under one condition. He's signing back with them to sell out the rest of the Yeezy collection. And I guess he's done with them, or they done with him. I don't know who's done with who, but yeah.
He
And
go-
that's actually worth $520 million worth of backup merchandise from when they first dropped them last year. What is y'all thoughts on that? Because you got one time to play in this league that's important and dear to me. Because he might be a goofball, but that was something that was very near and dear to him. You know, some of the designs was horrible or whatever the case may be, but it was something that was near and dear to him. And so when it got to the point that they didn't want to agree with his terms, or he started being a particular difficult person, which I feel like this, and I might be wrong. Okay, Mickey, say I sign you to a record deal or whatever. You a rapper, right? But 2 3 years down the line, you go to a concert and you say you don't like people that wear pink shirts. I shouldn't be able to drop you from my label because you said something that offends people.
I, I, but you gotta understand. You gotta understand when you don't own the industry. That's just like basically they was doing a blackball. That's like just say, nah, I'll reverse it and put it to you like this. Just say you signed to A10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say we have a falling out, and say Mid Michigan want to sign you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I don't want them to sign. Just say I had that type of influence. I could call Mid Michigan. I could call would just say nowhere in the state of Michigan, even Detroit, you couldn't even go down there and get a job
Yeah.
because we had a disagreement. You know,
No, no. Okay, this is my thing. It's it's a double edged sword. So it's kind of like, okay, we understand that you've offended people, but at the same time, we agreed on whatever it is that we agreed on. Now, this is my only thing. Now, if it's a clause in the contract, which obviously it must have been, where it's, hey, you have to have some kind of PR training or whatever, um, and you're not allowed to say and do X, Y, and Z, and you're subject to punishment or termination of contract if you do X, Y, and Z. And he went and did it anyways. Okay, now that that happens, but if that's not in his contract, you can't just terminate me because you don't like something I said. Because the only difference between me and you is that I was on camera saying something.
but when you don't own it, see that's the difference. When you work for somebody, they can come up, they can fire you whenever they want to fire you with something. That's the,
Unfortunately,
but with Adidas, they looking at that's a $500 million at the end of the day.
that's
A
thrown down the
merchandise
drain. So they,
that
I guess, make your money and keep it pushing. I just hope for Kanye. I hope that he takes this opportunity, gets all that stuff sold, get his cash, and get the hell on. I really would want him to start his own everything because I mean he's gonna have enough money where he can start his own. You know what I'm saying? From scratch.
right,
He's definitely gonna have enough money where he can do that. He can even take the Yeezy brand and go further with it and make it into something different, different designs, whatever the case may be, but it's black owned. That would be a good idea. But I really do hope that he takes this opportunity to milk Adidas for whatever it is that he can get and go and start his own. I don't like the idea of making it seem like you crawling back to the man. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's kind of coming off to me.
I mean, if it is, because that's the image they want to put out there. Because we not in there, who control the media. You never know what how they might have called him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm hoping
But
that's
you,
what and it kind of sound like that. Okay, we losing some cash. We got to try to figure out something. Oh, we're gonna have to call, call Kanye and see what's good.
It might have been, you know what I'm saying. But remember, I ain't gotta like you to do business. This is $500 million. This merchandise they already got. You know, some companies would be like, we'll take that loss. You know what I'm saying? So I believe they might have reached out, or if he reached out to them, whatever it is, you know, it's $500 million. So whatever percentage he can get, if this can help boost him, you know what I'm saying, to do what he got to do, you know,
Well, good luck to Kanye. Good
yeah.
luck, good luck, good luck. I wish him nothing but the best. I just feel like I hope and pray that over time that he's inquired on some help, mental help, because I'm pretty sure that he's fighting a lot of things that we probably don't even know anything about. We only get told a certain amount of things that's going on in a person's personal life. So I just, I hope that he's getting taking his time to get stuff together because he kind of been out the limelight for a couple months, which is great. I like that for him. I want him
Ask,
to chill.
answer this question before you end it. Just answer this for me. And I want you to think about it before you answer. Oh, hey, how you doing, Honorable? Thanks
Dr.
for tuning
Reverend
in.
Jordan, how's it going?
How did he go? How did he lose his mind before he get there? He done became crazy. Was he crazy back then? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What tripped him out?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this because I'm a huge Kanye fan, a huge Kanye fan, a old huge Kanye fan, like new stuff. But I feel like back then, like as you can see in the documentary, Kanye was one of those people that was very persistent. He was low key annoying, but he was very persistent in what it is that he wanted. He had an idea, he had a vision. He was going to go through whatever he needed to go through for people to realize his vision. But the vision that he had was conceived as normal to the general public, right? So
Right,
then we fast forwarded to 2020 or anywhere, give or take a couple years. Now his ideas are totally different. I don't know who has influenced him over the years, couldn't tell you. But now his ideas of being outspoken have turned into offending people, saying things about certain groups that's not cool. Just really kind of going against the grain. Like he was always against the grain when it came to, um, being an outspoken black person regarding black issues. But this was like 15 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So now did a complete turnaround and now he's voicing concerns that we really aren't too much in agreement with. The whole Trump thing, uh, just a whole bunch of just nonsense. So I really couldn't tell you where the turnaround came, but you could kind of see where his ideas and stuff just started kind of changing. Like he wasn't for us anymore. It was more of, let me see how much shock value I could put out there. So it did kind of start with, the campaign of, I'm for Trump. Trump is the god of us, and just all the crazy stuff. I'm trying to think of what else stupid stuff he was doing back then.
no,
It's
cause,
been
no, cause reason I say that though, because it's like when we send our kids to school, right? And this is probably not the best example, but we could send our babies to school,
Mhm.
then they come back, you be like, damn, they be slow. It's like you go in, you have your kid. Next thing you know, your baby be thinking like, you know. Next thing you know, they telling you your kid need this, some
Correct.
88. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, how do we, as far as entertainers, I get it. The money, they get the money, they lose their mind. You
That's
see,
definitely what it is.
like they can't. I mean, maybe they seen some that we ain't seen.
He definitely seen something that we like. You can look at him and tell now that he's He's down the street somewhere. He's definitely not over here. He's down the street somewhere. Like
That,
he's been gone for a minute.
that's why I'm just asking. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's him trying to go into a culture that he wouldn't.
Shock value. Now
No,
that's
because I can't just say all of it shock value. Because some of the stuff he be saying be making sense when he was getting into it with the fashion empire, when he was like they wouldn't let him have his own. You have to go through the, you know what I'm saying, trying to get in for his own clothing brand. Just like with him having to partner
really
up.
outspoken. When you
Yeah,
have
that's what
somebody like that will say anything that they feel like they want to say, that's a very dangerous person. Do you realize half the black leaders that we have that are no longer with us were not afraid to say what came to their mind, no matter what the repercussions were. So most of the time, the repercussions were somebody picking them off.
that's because I get it. To the media, they say he crazy, he this and that. But when he was saying it, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna hold some respect. When he was saying the N word, when he was called, like far as rappers, you can call women bees and say you did this, but then if
Hmm.
you get a conscious rapper,
It's not as exciting. Like
right,
people don't gravitate towards it as much.
right, you know what I'm saying? It's like it and don't get me wrong, because like, how can you be conscious in a situation when you know the people who controlling it?
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, like you said, we don't hold the key to too much of anything. So just like with 810
Mm-hmm.
media, we we look like this. So sometimes you have to create your own platform and start from the ground up. But sometimes that's what you have to go through in order to keep your integrity, to keep things the way that you want them to be kept. Because a lot of the times, and you see it all the time, where you have these black entertainers where they want certain things, and in order to get them, they have to go to someone that unfortunately is Caucasian or of a different race that has a little more money, pool, whatever the case may be. So it's definitely time for us as a people to start from the ground up on anything that we want to continue to have a legacy for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you don't, um, you never know, later on down the line, people get told different stories on how certain things, maybe in 2042, um, somebody would tell a story about Kanye and it would be farthest from the truth, but it's because over time people take things and they kind of twist it around. And if nobody is there to stop them, they can do whatever it is that they want to do. So, like I said, with black folks, it's time for us to, like I said before, start investing in ourselves. And my last point of the night, I I recently, well, it wasn't recently, but a couple months ago, I took a trip to Atlanta. I'm always back and forth. I got a lot of family down there. So what they do in their local malls is just about, I would say, 70% of the stores in their mall are private owned. Like I can own a store, Mickey can own a store, whatever, whatever. We need to figure out a way to have that type of vibe here in Flint. It's so many black owned businesses, people that have boutiques that do makeup, that do this, that do that. And when you go to, it's kind of like that in Lenox, but they got a couple other malls down there. You go in there, and it's so many black owned businesses that are either at the kiosk or they actually have enough money to pay the rent for like an actual storefront, which is ridiculous. And that's something for everybody to just keep in mind. We got the Valley, we got Cortland, and it's time to take Flint back. So, Mickey.
Well, you better get some. You better get some. No, I ain't gonna say that.
You know
I,
what though? And well, I'll tell you this too. Last piece of my point. There are a lot of institutions that are almost giving away grants. Almost. I've done my research.
I'm just saying, but you gotta have, you know what? I believe it can be done because you got some who doing it and need more. That's why I do like far as us telling our stories because it's Mid Michigan gonna really tell, Fox 66 Channel 12 gonna really tell. Even though we have blacks to be on these what's the name, but if they gonna really tell this, the truth was going on.
To be completely honest, if you're not doing something that's ridiculously exciting, a lot of those places are not going to put you in a position for advertisement. Trust me, I know. So um, it really is about having your own media, having your own, shopping areas, all that kind of stuff. And Dr. Weaver, we definitely got to check because that's an idea that I've been having for a while is having some kind of area where we can do a lot of just black owned businesses. They all have like a general place that they operate, whether it's daily, on the weekends, whatever the case may be. But we have so many businesses in Flint that they shine. They definitely need their shine. Outside of Facebook and Instagram and stuff, they definitely need their shine. So we're gonna have to talk, Dr. Weaver. Mickey, anything else before we head out?
Nah,
I
since
think
we coming down to the end in the Black History Month, but I'm gonna go ahead and start celebrating
ending
mine.
of Black History.
It ain't that terrible. Gave us 28 days. Them mother. I mean, we got what we got,
The
but
shortest month of the year.
yeah, the shortest month and one of the coldest. But it's a good, it's a good month to plan in.
It's definitely a great month. I actually took out a good amount of money and supported a few black owned businesses within the last couple weeks. So I said for now on, I'm definitely doing that at least once a month, blessing a black owned business, with a little funding. So yeah, y'all should try to do that also.
Yeah, we do. We should be keeping the grease saying how much is the black community spending in the black community.
Exactly, because we got to support each other, just like the other folks support the other folks.
And then
But
we can
anyways, you guys, thank you for tuning in to Club Rich. I'm so excited. Oh, before we get off, I was telling Mickey earlier, Club Rich is gonna be in Miami on March 10th. So we're actually gonna be doing a live episode in Miami. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I gotta talk to my special guests and stuff and get them on board. But yeah, I'm very excited. We're taking 810 to I don't even know what the zip code is. I'll let y'all know later the area code. But yeah,
see.
we're in Miami March 10th, so let's have fun with it, you guys. Black
And
money
we
matters, yeah. Woo! So yep. See you guys next week. Same time, same place. 8 o'clock on Fridays. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Thank y'all for the support.